Because this is what we do. We all have our own unique set of beliefs about ourselves, about the world, about life, about work. But the mistake we make is we actually project these beliefs out onto the world and then live into them as if they're true. But you don't know if they're true. They reside in your mind.
For all the things I speak around the world about, this I am truly an expert in. I spent years standing in my own way. I spent years with this invisible prison that nobody created but me. I created it.
It matters that you recognize that self-talk, that every time you say to yourself, well, I can't do that. Oh yeah, you can. You're the only one stopping you.
But there is something we can do right now to start to turn this around, to change this. And this lesson comes from another longtime client of mine named Jane. Now, Jane's had a really interesting life. Jane grew up believing she was worthless, so not good enough. And after trying to be all things to all people all the time, Jane eventually gave up and said, I'm not playing anymore, and found drugs and alcohol to numb her pain. So that led her to a life on the street and gangs. She ended up property of a motorcycle gang. The poor girl's been shot, stabbed, beaten, left on the side of the road for dead. She finally escaped the gang and spent 2 years trying to kill herself because she believed she was so worthless. Until one day, Jane was confronted by an uncomfortable realization. What she realized was the life she was living did not actually match her belief. You see, if she was as worthless as she believed she was, why did she have friends? Why did she have family that still wanted her around? Why was she in a relationship? Why did she have a job? So Jane decided to try and figure out this belief, if it was accurate. And she went to these people and she asked them. She said, what makes me a good employee? And what are my best characteristics? And then, instead of going through her day engaging in her usual belief that she was worthless and finding proof of that, Jane chose to believe somebody else's belief. And every day she chose one of those beliefs and went through her day looking for proof that that was true. And she found it every day. And what do you think happened after a couple of weeks? Oh yeah, that negative cycle turned into a positive one. And it allowed Jane to go from working in a ladies' dress shop to director in a large financial organization in 4 years. So she didn't stop there, she kept doing it. You have no idea what is possible for you in this life unless you try. You can just ask Jane.